Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yeukai Kajidori.
Hello and welcome back to another very special episode. Look, man, I've missed being here with you because over the last few weeks we had this holiday Christmas celebration, amazing time with family. But today we are back in business, and I'm always excited right at the beginning of the year because I tend to bring the high caliber individuals so they can inspire you, share with you what is working in their world today. And today is no different. And with me is a gentleman that is out there really making it happen, Rick Elmore, a gentleman who has done something that has never been done before, in my opinion anyway. Has created a company that keeps you, the business owner, in touch with your audience, with your customers, and also entices those that you're looking to join you or to come and buy from you in an easy and effortless way. And I'm hoping that you have somewhere to write notes because you're going to discover how others are going to be doing this, how others are doing it, and you can also copy that. We all know that success certainly leaves clues, and today you'll be learning some of those clues indeed. Well, Rick, thank you so much for joining us here on the show for the first time, man.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. I love one of your stats. Every time I hear you talk about this, it makes me think, there is a real truth in this. If a lot of people get this, they're going to do things differently. Do share with everybody.
Yeah. So, when really talking about what we do as a business down to our product, I think the most powerful stat is that handwritten notes, a real pen, real paper, handwritten envelope with a real physical stamp has a 99% open rate. And as a business owner, if you can engage your client nearly 100% of the time, how is that going to impact your business? And I think when you really think about that and really boil it down and dissect it, it can be an incredibly powerful business tool.
Absolutely. And one of the things I've learned about that, when you engage with your customers, they're 5 times more forgiving when you make a mistake. Not only that, they're 4 times more likely to make a referral to your business. I know you've got some more stats on there. Do share, what you've discovered over the last few years.
Yeah. So, handwritten notes are an incredible business tool. I know we live in the digital age now. Everything's gone online, from social, email, digital marketing, Twitter, TikTok. I mean, it is just such an impersonal world. And really, if you really think about what business is built on, it's built on strong relationships. The businesses that stand the test of time are the people. Not only are you need to have a good product, a good service, right? Those are just the necessities. But what really keeps your business going is having strong relationships and contracts with people that can help you stand the test of time. And that's really what we're trying to do here at Simply Noted, is help you build those strong, rock solid relationships with people that are going to keep coming back, refer their friends, write great reviews. And the way that we're doing that is through an amazing technology that nobody else in the world has. We've invested nearly $850,000 into this handwriting robot that we've built. It's the only thing in the world that's doing it. There are some people out there that do something similar, but they kind of use little, off-the-shelf pen plotters. But it's an incredible technology. We're helping our clients integrate, automate, and scale their relationships, their account-based marketing, their direct response, basically any way to engage their client in a more personal way.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. What I love about what you're doing, Rick, is how unique it is. And if business owners like me and Bill listening in, if they had to get hold of this, it could be a game changer, especially in the new year when the economy is not so great. It is that single thing that can differentiate them from the competition. But before we jump on to talk about the rest of the conversation here, I know you've got a story. You were telling me earlier on of how you ended up doing what you're doing, especially with a background in sports. Do share with the audience today.
Yeah, it's a great question. So my background's in athletics. I played football, American football. I was played for almost 20 years. I went to the University of Arizona, which is a Division I school here in the States. Had a pretty good career. 3-year starter, led our league in multiple stat categories. But I never say it was because of pure talent. It was really just from really good attitude and massive amounts of effort. If you look at my draft profile online, like literally in like first two sentences, it's like this guy's an overachiever and he's a high motor and he just works hard. So I think I think people saw that as like a slight like to me, but I take it as a massive compliment. But I got to live out my childhood dream. I played in the NFL, which is the National Football League, for 3 years. After 3 years, hung up the shoulder pads and cleats and got into corporate medical sales and marketing. Again, really had a good career there. First year, I was rookie of the year. I was, I guess, team MVP. I was a support sales role. And then the next 5 years, I was an outside sales rep. I was either top 1% or top 5%. And really what I did was just leverage all the transferable skills that I had from being an athlete. Just work hard, perseverance, get knocked down 7, get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. Just pure grit, never give up. And I think those are the types of people that, find long-term lasting success, because you can keep pushing forward when you don't have that motivation anymore. But after, 5 years of doing that, I really had this itch I couldn't scratch. I went back and did my MBA in 2017. And I was about 12 months into the program, and I had a marketing professor that, one of these lectures, these 3-hour classes that we were doing at night, after I worked a full 9-hour job that day. And I was sitting there trying to absorb everything to make myself as successful as possible in my current career. And this marketing professor said, hey, he was going through success rates in marketing. Everything was nominal, single digit success, low double digits, like email, cold calling, knocking on doors, print mail, social, pay per click, right? Everything was super small numbers. And this professor, at the end of the lecture, after this hour and a half, and our minds are just exploded and numbed over from just listening to him talk for so long, he says something that was just so revolutionary to me. And that's when the light bulb went off. He said, hey guys, what works more than ever, if not better than ever, is a good old fashioned handwritten note. They have nearly open 100% of the time. They're rare. Nobody's sending them. Relationships matter in business, right? Like there's nothing more personal or more powerful in business nowadays, because everybody's being pulled in so many different directions. I was like, man, that is a no-brainer. Like it's a no-brainer. But I had 400 clients at the time. It took me 2 weeks for me and my wife to sit down and write envelopes to put in our holiday cards. Like I was just like, how am I going to do this efficiently? So I got to work. Again, I have no technical background. I have no software engineering, no mechanical engineering, no electrical engineering, no website development, no full stack development. But I was so passionate about the idea. And I thought that this was a real problem that we were all suffering from in the business world, was not being disconnected. We weren't connected anymore. So I worked with the mailing house here locally, kind of talked about what technologies are available. How could I do this? How would I even think about starting doing this? Flew some technology in from China. I was basically just a really bad pen plotter. And I kind of got to work in testing. It took me about a month, but I sent out wrote 500 handwritten notes with this really crappy drawing robot. And from that first test, I sent them to 500 clients I didn't work with. And I was in sales, and out of those 500, I had about 30 clients call me back. And if you're in sales and you have your client calling you to book an appointment, that's incredibly powerful. It's most of the time it's a win. You're chasing them down, right? But these clients, these doctors who are, smart, educated people running their business, they would call me and they'd say, hey, like Rick, like I got your note. Like, this is really cool. Like nobody does this anymore. Like, thanks for sending it. Like I automatically was on their good side and earned their trust before they even met with me, right? Because of the handwritten note. But they're like, hey, this offer sounds good. Let's book a lunch and talk about it. So I booked 30 meetings, within a month. And my monthly quota at the time was about $50,000. And I sold $280,000 within 6 weeks. My VP of sales of the company was going absolutely nuts. I was having the euphoric entrepreneur seizure, million light bulbs, nuclear explosions going off. I was like, this is it. I knew it was going to work. This is the proven point. Like from this point on, I'm working on this business. So $28,000 in commission. I was just like, man, this is amazing. And for about 9 months, really started, researching how I'm going to go from being a W-2 employee to now being responsible for a W-2. How do I start a business? How do I start a website? How do I open an LLC? How do I get a bank account? I mean, I knew nothing, right? And what really got us through it was just the passion for the product. And you listen to these, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk of the world, and what they tell you is that you have to be incredibly passionate to be successful, because being an entrepreneur is painful. It really is. It's a lot of heartache, a lot of hours, a lot of failure. And if you're not incredibly obsessed with the problem you're solving, the service you're selling, the product you're providing, it's really easy to be a part of the statistic of the 90+% of small businesses that go out of business within 5 years.
It makes perfect sense. Having done it myself, having been part of that, I can tell you that it is hard work. Oftentimes, Rick, you know this, for most of the successful people, you get to see when everything is working, when they're beginning to get the traction they want. And you think, oh, well, I want to be doing that. But what most people don't get to see is the struggle, what has gone before then, before they actually hit the jackpot, so to speak. So when you talk about tenacity, one of those great skills that you learned when you were playing sports, never giving up and working as part of a team, it's all those things play out. I want to circle back to talk about those early days when you were starting out, because a lot of people want to start, but not all of them actually get started despite wanting to. Did you, what sort of mindset you had in those early beginnings of running your business?
Yeah, so from an early age, I mean, I remember I used to skateboard when I was 9 years old. I just remember having a very competitive spirit. I wanted to be better every single day. If I did, I ollied down a 3-stair, I'd want to ollie down a 4-stair the next time I did it, and so on and so forth. So I feel like that entrepreneurial drive, spirit, whatever, you're born with it can be learned as well. But the things that you have to develop is just tenacity and perseverance and discipline. But in the early days, I was so passionate about it. I thought this was a real problem. This was a company that was started with, no loans, no debts, no investors, completely customer funded. And the only reason we were able to do that was because of my experience in sales and marketing. So I never recommend anybody just going, 100% in on passion. You have to develop some really good hard skills that you can leverage into your journey, whatever it is, if it's marketing, if it's sales, if it's development, if it's software engineering. Whatever it is, you got to have some really good hard skill that's valuable to a business that you can leverage until you can bring other people on that can pick up where you're not so good at. So, I started this on a $10,000, 0% interest credit card. I went through my email and I looked for credit cards because I always got those like offers. And I was like, I'm gonna try it. I was like, I had no debt at the time. My credit score was like 800. I always paid my bills, and I was like, the thought of having debt just scared the crap out of me. And got the 10%, 0% interest credit card, got some equipment. I paid someone like $700 to build our first website, which was really bad. But what I have done really well, I was talking to a business mentor recently, and I told him, what I think I'm good at is, not only, the skills I developed as an athlete, is just being a really good project manager. He's like, Rick, no, you're just a good business manager. You know how to just to keep pushing the boat forward. And I was like, yeah, I appreciate that. But I was just like, I just know like how to, I need to find somebody to be an engineer. So what I do is I start researching engineers. I find somebody, I look somebody up on LinkedIn. I ask somebody if they know this person. What do you think about this person? Then I reach out to them after they get vetted, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Have you guys done anything like that? So I do a lot of research, right? Then I put a lot of
Your profile.
a statement of work and play. Yeah, I'm really good at just like kind of connecting the dots. And I think that's really what I've done well here at Simply Noted is, having an idea and executing that idea. This has not been a small feat. Our platform, serves over 380,000 people a month. We've invested a lot of money into this writing robot. I had no reason to build outside of just I was so passionate about it, and I thought it was going to be an amazing product. And here we are. Fast forward almost 4.5 years. You have 11 employees. Multi-millions in revenue. It's been an incredible journey.
Love that. And you've got a tremendous goal that you're working towards. We will come to that in a minute. I just want to point out to Bill and everybody listening that if you've got a moment, just go to this website, Simply Noted, and you'll be able to find out more about the website. In fact, I will get Rick here toward the end of our time to give you exactly where to find it. But, if you want to know more about how you too can maybe make use of what these guys are putting out to the world, you'll be able to do that. In fact, actually, Rick, where can people find this website?
Yeah, just go online, what you just said, go simplynoted.com. We actually do a really nice job. I don't know if this is on video, but we send a really nice sample kit with a bunch of free handwriting samples, flyers, case studies, pricing, all that stuff. We do work with clients all over the world. We've worked with clients in Australia right now, Canada, not just the States. So if there's businesses that need these types of services, we're happy to be flexible and support anybody. But also I'm on LinkedIn nonstop. I live on LinkedIn. It's kind of been my number one social site. And I'm very active on there. So if you go to LinkedIn, it's just Rick, R-I-C-K, Elmore, E-L-M as in Mary, O-R-E. And I'd love to connect with you on there. I try to respond to anybody who reaches out within a few hours. So.
Awesome. Let's go back to the goal. You were sharing with me that you when you are at a stage where you know that what you have is definitely needed in the world, and you also recognize that you may need to sell the venture or even have a great investment. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so you know what? I was the first person to go to college in my family. I've always kind of felt the responsibility to be the person who created opportunity, pushed, and succeeded for my family. And I do have two small kids now, and I really do want to leave a strong legacy to my family, not only my immediate family, which my brothers, my mom, dad, but also like my current family, right? My son, my daughter, my wife, and our nieces, nephews, anybody who I'm attached to. I really want them to look at what I have been able to do and kind of be like an example, or a source of motivation, or a source of support, because when they look at what I've been able to do, this is not easy. Nothing I've done is easy, from college football to the NFL to corporate America to this. And there's just one constant theme. It's never giving up, pushing as hard as you can, right? Having a massive amount of discipline and being passionate about what you're doing, and just, sticking to it, and success will come over time. But yeah, I do have plans to sell this. I really do think this is a global issue. I think people around the world are just more disconnected than ever. I think these digital devices we live on, right, are causing more mental health problems. They're making people more disconnected than ever. And we really got to get back to a place where people are getting more in the moment, in a more tangible, experience. And I think businesses are really going to look for that solution. And I think in order for Simply Noted to reach its most, massive amount of potential, there's going to have, I can only take this so far, customer funding. It's at some point, we're going to have to invest millions into this platform. And selling a $2 or $3 item, it's just not possible, unless you're getting massive POs, but it's just, that's not what we're getting right now. But I do have plans to sell this. I am passionate about the project. I'm passionate about this technology. A lot of sleepless nights, blood, sweat, and tears. That's a real thing in entrepreneurship. I have a co-founder. He's been there every step of the way. He's the exact opposite of me. I'm high energy, high stress, and he's like cool, calm cucumber. So we balance each other out. But we have worked. I mean, our whole team has worked amazingly hard to get us this far. But I really do have big aspirations for our technology. I just there's we have to get back to connecting on a more personal level. It's just so disgusting. We've gotten to a point to where people feel like they deserve everything. It's like, or people are just the appreciation level is just gone to almost down to zero. It's I was just watching a Christmas movie with my kids. What movie was it? It was Elf. It was like talking about the holiday spirit, right? The
Oh, yes,
clausometer
yes.
has gone down to zero. It's like the appreciation-ometer has gone down to zero. It's like people nowadays, it's just weird. It's just like it's a lot of negativity, not a lot of appreciation. We got to get back to relationships. We got to get back to what matters, which is people. It's not this how many likes you get. It's not, who's going to get the most viral video. It's about getting down to, those relationships that are going to be there for decades, not just days.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely truth. You know what? As we come toward the end of our time here, Rick, one of the things that I often ask people who have started a business, especially during the most difficult time. You started just before the pandemic and you had a lot of struggles along the way, but you stayed the path and the business keeps growing. What do you do different?
So I've developed a very high pain tolerance. I played defensive line, so I mean I was in pain every single play for 2 decades. But I think when it comes down to being an entrepreneur, number one, you gotta have the ability to make either the right decisions or not catastrophic decisions. And whatever that is, if it's from education or having, a good conscious or whatever, you got to have the ability to make the right decision, which not may be the best decision you ever made, but sometimes making the right decision is just not making the wrong decision. And what I mean by that is just like having the discipline to not do something when you're not ready to do it. But I think having the ability to not make catastrophic decisions that will tank your business. A lot of people don't have the discipline. There's a good I think his last name's Collins. It's a good analogy. It's bullets and cannonballs. Like you got to do a lot of test fires if you only have one cannonball left. Think you're like in a pirate ship fight. It's you versus the other ship. You only got one cannonball, right? You're not going to just launch that one cannonball that's going to save your ship unless you know it's going to hit, right?
Right.
So if you're a business owner, you got to make small test shots, right? You got to line that thing up before you make your massive decision. And I think that's something I've been really good is tons and tons, even though it's painful, it is incredibly painful, growing slow, taking years. You get off of social media. All these people online that are telling you get rich in 90 days or 60 days or do everything in 1 year, they're full of crap. They're trying to sell you, their course, right? They're trying to monetize their audience. Get away from that. Success doesn't happen in 12 months. Like it took me 15 years to make it to the NFL. It's going to take me 4 or 5 years, to get this business off the ground. It takes years. And, it's, yeah, how, what's that other saying, what is the other saying? Like easy come, easy go, right? Like if it takes you decades to build it, it's going to take you decades to lose it, right? So I would just say get good at making, not making catastrophic decisions and develop a massive amount of discipline, because there's going to be days, right, where you have no money and you're going to feel terrible because you can't go do something, but you got to, still have that excitement, that vision, that goal, that commitment you had at day one, because if you can stick to it, and also there's a lot of success that happens over time because people won't take you serious for years. Like I have people I talked to 4 years ago about this now coming back, and they're like this. They're like, Rick, like, oh, it's so amazing you've done this, and they wouldn't even give me the time of day 4 years ago, and now they're like, oh, I want you to talk to this person, or oh, like this is amazing, like can't believe you did this, like, or like people coming out of the woodworks like, hey, we need you to do this for us. I'm just like, Sure, absolutely, no problem. But it's just like sometimes some people, it takes them time to come around, which is
Which is
okay.
okay. It is absolutely fine.
It is.
But I'm glad this is, you're sharing exactly what we often talk about here, that success. And I know some people are already in business that are listening to this, and this message resonate with them. You just letting them know exactly that experience is not unique. We all, as entrepreneurs, go through the same phase. You have to get started. People doubt you, and then they tend come back, come around, and they say, "Oh, can you show us?" And then, of course, you show them because that's what we do, and they get started on their own journey. But what's important is never give up. You have to keep on going. If you truly believe in what you have and what you are going to be offering, stick with it. In due season, you're going to make it happen. Well, Rick, we are coming toward the end of our time here together. I've got one question here for you. But before we do that, what is that website again for those who want to work with you or get some of your products?
Yeah, it's just Simply Noted. So S as in Sam, I, M as in Mary, PLY, noted.com. Just go to the business page, put your name and address, and we'll send you this nice sample kit. It's free. We spend about $20 per kit, and we send about 30 to 40 of those a day. So it's a massive time investment and financial investment for us just to get that in your hands. Or just go to and connect me on LinkedIn. I'm on there all day. So it's just Rick, R-I-C-K, Elmore, E-L-M-O-R-E, on LinkedIn. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'm happy to connect with you there as well.
Awesome. If you were to do it all over again, Rick, knowing what you know now, what would be the very first thing you would focus on to get you started strong?
My online reputation, my online website, my online traffic, online. As much as I'm selling a tangible product, here's a sample of, as much as I'm selling this, digital and online is extremely important for being noticed. We have over 380,000 people on our website every month. It drives so much traffic, and so many new leads. I would focus a lot more on that. I didn't really start paying attention to that until like 18 months ago, and it's really transformed our business for leads wise. But our customers, I'm telling you, like our customers, the ones that stick around the most, the ones who spend the most money, the ones that we have the best relationships with. And I'm telling you, like we send them a handwritten note every single month. Like some people appreciate it. I'm telling you, like we'll send them a handwritten note with a Starbucks gift card or a gift card local to them, so it's a little bit more personal. And they just love it. They eat it up. So, but yeah, I would focus a lot on online reputation, online traffic, and then relationships. I'm telling you, relationships are key. People are willing to take the risk and stick around and forgive if they have great relationships. If they don't have great relationships, they're looking for any reason, to leave. So, yeah.
They go elsewhere. Well, there you
Yeah.
have it, ladies and gentlemen. Rick, thank you so much. You now know how others have done it and how others are doing it. And if you want to learn more about Rick and what's going on in his world, and maybe you can learn one or two things, connect with Rick on LinkedIn. There will be a link below this recording so that you will be taken directly there. Alternatively, just go to simplynoted.com and get familiar with what is happening there. Look, I truly believe in relationship. You do what you can to keep that relationship going with your customers and your potential customer. And today, you just discover one fine way of making that happen. And my friend here, Rick, I can show you exactly how to do that. And before we close here, if you've got any question and you want to learn more about business, be it finance, go into the community. We've got a team of people that are there to help you. And every Saturday, I'm there to answer some of the questions that you may have. So please just click the link below and you'll be taken straight to our community, and we'll be delighted to support you there. Rick, once more, thank you so much for being generous with your knowledge. It's so good to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Incredible. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, live well, live with passion. Know that the best is truly, truly yet to come. Goodbye for now.
Thank you for listening to Yeukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yukaibusinessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.